K-pop Demon Hunters was beautiful, energetic, funny, and earnest all at the same time. Here's my pitch for a K-pop Demon Hunters sequel that will put Mira into the protagonist role, whilst also expanding the mystical side of the world. My goal is firstly to keep the spirit, energy, and entertainment of the first film alive. I'm gonna further explore themes that they touched on in the first, whilst also bringing my own heart to it. Also, I'm gonna be reading this kind of dramatically, maybe like an audiobook or something, rather than the screenplay to a movie. And without further ado, here's my glorified fanfiction. It's been a few months since the creation of the multicolored Hanmoon, and Huntrix are on a contest show promoting their newest mini-album, Back to Normal, and they'll be performing a song by the same title. Yes, that's the name. They'll perform Back to Normal on this show, and it'll be an absolute bop. It'll entail that Huntrix's bond has only grown closer since we last saw them, and that everything is back to normal, as the title would suggest. After the performance, they sit down for a quick interview and answer some questions about the album until suddenly they get thrown a curveball and asked about the Saja Boys. We learn that the Saja Boys are viewed publicly as a marketing stunt, a fake group invented to help promote the release of What It Sounds Like. On top of this, there has been an internet frenzy of people trying to find the people that portrayed the Saja Boys, thinking it must have been idol trainees that are just waiting to re-debut elsewhere. Rumi's mind goes to Jinu, and we can see the pain as she casually talks about the Saja Boys as if they were never real. Zoey exclaims that she doesn't think the Saja Boys will re-debut, and that, from her knowledge, they weren't trainees, just random people they found. The focus then goes to Mira, who looks more annoyed than anything. She abruptly stands up. "Thanks for having us on the show, but we have to get back to work." She walks off. Rumi and Zoey look puzzled. There was 3 minutes left in the interview after all. They apologize and catch up to Mira. Bobby runs into the interview nervously laughing.
Okay, yeah, girls, that's all good. I can totally finish the interview.
After this, we zoom out of the interview on a TV that sits in a dark room. 2 mysterious figures watch.
Interesting,
says the first figure, a woman's voice.
What's got her so riled up?
The other person speaks, a man's voice.
She always seems testy when talking about the Saja Boys. I remember that face from when she was little. She's hiding something.
I wonder, are you thinking what I am?
I don't know. What are you thinking?
Just come on.
Mira's parents get up from their couch and walk through a long, dark hallway, longer than any hallway that should be in a small shack in rural Korea. They walk through this seemingly everlasting hallway until arriving at a weird room, that of a wizard. Bookshelves and potions sit everywhere. There's even a cauldron. Mira's parents begin scanning the books as we flash the title card of the movie. That's our intro. Now we're back to Huntrix. Zoey, exacerbated, speaks up as they leave the building. Mira, what was that about? What was that about? Seriously? What do you think? We need to start telling interviewers in advance to stop asking about the Saja Boys. I'm tired of it. Rumi nods. Honestly, I agree with Mira. We've been talking about them for months. With Back to Normal about to release, we should be focusing on the future. That's ridiculous, says Zoey. We just made a big deal over honesty, and now you want to sweep the Saja Boys under the rug? Mira snaps at Zoey. That's funny, considering we aren't being honest. Are you suggesting that we go on television and say the Saja Boys were demons and we hunted them? Don't be dumb. That's enough, Rumi chimes in. Why are y'all fighting? I'm sorry, Zoey. This has just been overwhelming for me. Let's go to the bathhouse together? They go and have a relaxing evening. After that, they arrive home and begin writing the second song for the Back to Normal mini-album. They have 3 out of 5 songs ready to go, but are struggling to write the final track, but mostly the second track. Rumi thinks the second track should be sad, more reflective on a life changed. Zoey wants the song to expand on their bond even further and how this is what it sounds like is going to shape their music forever. Mira, however, wants the song to be a standalone song in a completely new style for them, saying not every song on the album needs to connect to the last. What comes before isn't always relevant. We learn that together. After another writing session of not coming to an agreement, they go to bed. Mira lays down and we see a tear shed in her eye. She remembers pulling her weapon on Rumi. She remembers snapping at Zoey just earlier today. She clenches her fist and thinks of her parents. We then see a flashback of her in the wizard's room we were introduced to earlier, a memory of her childhood. She's taking a book from the room, a book that so happens to be about Gima and how he came to be. She runs the book off to her room and begins reading. We can learn some fun, innocuous Gima lore here. As she finishes reading, she finds notes written in the last page, her dad's handwriting, but before she can read them, her parents come in the room, angry. She quickly hides the book under her pillow.
Where is the book, Mira? That's not for kids to read. Give it here.
I don't have a book, snaps Mira.
Don't lie,
her mom yells back.
The book is gone and your brother wouldn't do something like that. Don't be dumb.
Her mom's words layer over her earlier words to Zoey. They sting like venom. Mira begins to fully cry until the purple fire of Gima starts trickling into her room. She jumps to an attack position until Abby and Romance step out of the flame. She gasps. What are you doing here? I'll hunt you where you stand. Whoa, 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 says Abby. Your parents sent us. Romance flashes a smile. I don't think they'd be too happy if you killed us. My parents? What are you talking about? I haven't talked with them in years. I know. They told us. They feel so bad about it. They want to apologize. Apologize? Mira loosens her grip on her weapon. They talk a bit more until Mira agrees to go with Abby and Romance to see her parents. We see Mira, Abby, and Romance arrive at a shack in rural Korea. Mira walks in, and her parents have a long conversation. Mira vents frustration about her childhood and about how they outcasted her. They show some level of regret. Her dad then asks,
Mira, dear, your friends, Abby and Romance, they were in that group, the Saja boys, right?
Mira gets angry. Yeah, you already know that.
Of course, dear, it's just that when they knocked on our door and introduced themselves as your friends, we had just seen an interview of you seeming angry about them.
They knocked on your door? What did they say?
Just that they were friends and colleagues of yours. We told them we aren't in contact with you, and we ended up talking about...
Mira cuts her off. Stop talking. She storms off to find Abby and Romance sitting in a room. You knocked on my parents' door? What are you talking about? Your parents summoned us. I can't lie. I was excited to see you. I was way more excited to see her than you, dude. Come on. Abby, shut up. Listen, Mira, whatever is going on, Gima isn't in our ear anymore. We can... Both of you shut up. I'm trying to think. Just as that happens, Gima's fire begins crackling in the corner of the room. But as it burns, its purple and red blaze shifts into a green and blue. Demons start spilling out in droves. But not ordinary demons. More like goblins. What the hell are those? Asks Mira. Nature demons, says Abby. But that doesn't make sense. They shouldn't have access to this realm. Not unless someone summoned them. But even so, nature demons aren't violent. As Romance says that, the nature demons charge at them. Mira pulls her weapon. Alright, if you want me to believe you over my parents, help me fight these things. We cut back to Huntrix's high-rise. Nature demons are spilling into their home at a rate we have never seen before. Zoey and Rumi stand by the windows. Where is Mira? I don't know, she wasn't in her room. Ugh, we are so getting evicted. As demons rush toward them, Zoey throws one of her hunter knives behind her at the window. The glass shatters out onto the skyline of Seoul as Rumi and Zoey jump out of the window. We watch Zoey and Rumi fall as a horde of nature demons follow them out the skyscraper's window. They break into the third song on the album. An action scene takes place, intercut between Rumi, Zoey, and Mira, Abby, and Romance. Abby and Romance are helping fight, using their claws. The fight settles down. Zoey and Rumi land and postulate about Mira's whereabouts. They go to search her room. As they open her door, Rumi sees the tiger and bird that Jinu had in the first film. She gasps in excitement. Zoey asks, is that bird wearing a hat? Well, I think it's supposed to be the tiger's, but the bird took it. I'm not sure that answers my question. The tiger nudges to follow and begins leading Zoey and Rumi outside. We pan up and see the rest of the Saja boys, Jinu, Mystery, and baby Saja, watching from a rooftop. Jinu speaks to the group. All right, boys, they're going. Mystery asks, should we talk with them? I can take Zoey. Jinu gives Mystery a funny look. Not yet. We will talk as two groups. Let them reunite with Mira first. Any thoughts, baby Saja? Goo goo gaga. Right. Back at Mira's home, her, Abby, and Romance are running down the long dark hallway. Mom, Dad, what the hell? Mira's mom! Mira's daddy! What the hell? Mira stops running and slowly turns around. This little thing 1 and thing 2 deal you have, it's getting on my nerves really quick. Abby and Romance cower. We're just trying to help. The three of them enter the wizard room. The cauldron has been recently used, showing a blue and green bubbling mix. Mira is stunned. Why would your parents summon a bunch of nature demons? The better question is how? Even Gima didn't have the power to summon nature demons. That realm is more heavily guarded than yours or ours. What, like, they have a stronger Hanmoon? I guess you could call it that, but it's not powered by shame or music or whatever, it's just itself. It's pretty much accepted that nobody messes with that. It can have ripple effects on the other realms. Yours, ours. Nature, huh? We cut to a lush green realm. These nature demons are everywhere. Layered caverns and massive trees make up the hilly landscape. A giant tree sits in the middle of the frame, massive gaping cavern that sits in the middle of the landscape. This is Jajingnad, or Jaji for short. She is the lord of nature. Mira's parents stand before her.
I commend you for finding this place. It's no easy feat. but I have no interest in these plans. And if I find out you manipulated some of my Dokaibi again, I will see to it that you don't leave. We did not manipulate your goblins. We simply told them the threat present in our realm. I know of no threat to your realm besides you. Humans. You threaten what I care about. And you extending this conversation is reminding me more of my disdain for you.
We agree with you. There are threats to your realm and ours. The demon hunters.
My Dokaibi are not petulant demons like Gima's. We are a safe, calm society. And last I checked, the hunters did you a favor by eliminating him. That may be. But I have footage of a hunter and two of Gima's demons cutting through your goblins like grass. The girl with red hair will come here to slay you as she slayed Gima. She will materialize her magic spear and cut your branches, infecting the land and the seas, just as they do to our world.
Zhaji looks confused.
Your lands and your seas. Forget demons. They're idols. Their whole world is consumption. Fan signs, lights, photo cards, makeup, brand deals.
Just look. Look at what consumerism is doing to your domain.
Zhaji closes her eyes. Zhaji lets out a guttural scream. Roots and vines begin to lash out from Zhaji's base. They envelop Mira's parents. The roots form a cocoon around them.
A cute attempt, but I see how my own barrier gets damaged. You can try pinning it on the idols all you want, but you won't be leaving here.
Gima's flames begin to burn around the cocoons.
It's not good to lash out. How are you harnessing Gima's magic?
The fire travels towards Zhaji's base. Then we cut back to Abby, Mira, and Romance scanning books when the doorbell rings. At first, Mira is startled. She goes to the front door and props it open. Slowly. Mira, we were so worried! Zoey and Rumi burst in and give Mira a big hug. I missed you guys so much too, says Mira. She then looks pensive. I never wanted you to see where I grew up. They talk over things and get up to speed. Mira explains that her parents might be summoning the nature demons. Oh, and they summon two more. Abby and Romance stumble out from across the wall on top of each other Scooby-Doo style. Rumi and Zoey are shocked, but comes to terms with it after they all talk. Rumi asks about Genu, and as he says it, the doorbell rings again. It's the rest of the Saja boys. Everybody catches up. Zoey and Mystery flirt. Rumi and Genu just embrace. Baby Saja points outside the window. There are now green and blue nature demon portals spilling through the Han Moon, but Gima's red demons spill out. The Han Moon! Rumi rushes into action mode. If we can finish song 2 and release it now, it might at least help patch this up. We can help you write the album, offers Genu. At first they scoff at this idea, but it dawns on them that that might be genius. A Saja revival with a collab would overtake the charts, says Zoey. We have a quick songwriting session montage as demons approach the house. Zoey is writing, Mira is making a beat on her laptop, and Rumi is furiously writing an announcement for the drop. We see slow-mo shots of each character suggesting lines, with only the song's intro as audio. As demons break down the front door, Rumi looks back nervously. Zoey slams her pencil into her notebook. That's it! Mira, you have a beat? Mira nods. Rumi hits record on her phone. We'll call it the studio version. Demons start flooding into the room they're in. Another action scene breaks out as they begin a full-on collaboration. The Saja boys and Huntrix. There was never normal. They sing about how it's easy to commit to honesty and change, but hard to follow through on it. All 5 of the Saja boys are helping to fight the demons. They clear the demons out of the house. Rumi hits stop on her phone and hits upload. Fans around the world tune in. New Huntrix drop. We see the Han Moon slowly repairing. We start to see news reports and general confusion over the return of the Saja boys. But we don't have time to worry about that right now. After all that, everyone goes to find a motel, thinking it best to not sleep in Mira's parents' home. Everybody gets their own rooms, and Rumi and Genu sneak off, and we get a longer conversation between the two of them about what happened after Huntrix slayed Gima. We woke up back in our realm. Everything the same, just no Gima. We started working towards creating a real world, opening schools, businesses, just trying to start something. Rumi smiles pensively. We cut to Zoey as she debates with herself over if she should go talk to Mystery. She can't come to an answer, so she begins to do some solo writing for the final song on the album, happy that they now have 4 out of 5. Mira knocks on the door. Hey, can I come in? Sure. I'm sorry that I snapped at you. You're my sister, and I should never say things to try and hurt you. Thanks, Mira. I understand. They talk more and Mira opens up about the memory we saw earlier. As she talks with Zoey, she brings up something it said in the book she read about Gima as a kid. A way to use his summoning tactics. Well, that's great! If we read the book, we should be able to track down your parents and figure this all out. We looked. Abby, Romance, and I. It was nowhere to be found. I've never been able to remember what it said in that book, only that my mom called me dumb when I read it. Zoey hugs Mira. Wait a second! What? Didn't the Saja boys summon demons at will when we fought them, like in the bathhouse? Yeah, wait a minute, you're right. Mystery! Get over here! Mystery speeds into the room sheepishly. Shut up! Yells someone from another room. Sorry! Yells Zoey. Shut up! Zoey turns around. Mystery, how do you make demon portals? That's a mystery to me. Ask Ginu. Mira and Zoey roll their eyes. Mira volunteers to go find Rumi and Ginu. As she's walking outside, she passes Abby shaking a vending machine as Romance cheers him on. Mira materializes her spear and cuts the vending machine in half. All the soda spills out onto Abby's Hawaiian shirt. Thanks, I guess. Mira can't help but gawk. They get to talking about their lives before Gima. Romance talks about his life growing up as an orphan. Abby had a single mom. Mira looks sad. I had both of my parents, but they resent me. I've never known why, but as long as I can remember, they could barely look at me. And if they were talking to me, it was insults, yelling. They were obsessive about their work, but shunned my curiosity over it. After this, the boys talk more about their time after Gima and what they've been doing in the new society being built. Romance has been a teacher in one of their new schools, and Abby has been helping do construction work. They decide to go find Rumi and Ginu together. We cut back to Zoey and Mystery sitting together. Zoey is just writing as Mystery watches. Never knew someone could write so aggressively. Oh, this is nothing. You should have seen me when we were trying to diss you. They laugh and scoot closer to each other. Mira, Abby, and Romance find Rumi and Ginu sitting on a bench looking at the stars. Rumi is leaning her head on Ginu's shoulder. Mira clears her throat. Rumi sits up quickly and they turn around sheepishly. Mira explains to Ginu that she thinks her parents found a way to use Gima's summoning magic to get into the nature realm. I could do that, but I'd need a certain type of potion and I don't know how to make it. Gima was supplying us. Well, any ideas how we can get one? Potion. Would the potion be blue and green? Yeah, I guess it would be. Mira, your parents' house. So we got a motel and now we're gonna go back? We'll go tomorrow. Everyone nods. We cut to the next day and the gang walks back into the shack. Ginu is able to make a portal to the nature realm. We won't be able to come through. Jaji won't let Gima's demons in. Oh. I guess this is goodbye again? I'm sure we'll see you again, but how are you gonna explain us being on your album? Oh, we can spin anything, don't worry about that. They all take one last look at each other and ultimately embrace for a group hug. Thank you, Saja boys. Truly. The girls step into the portal. They enter into the nature realm and start to explore, traversing the mountains and caverns that make up the land. As they explore, the girls talk. Mira shares some more memories, and Rumi tells her she knows what it's like to feel outcasted by her parents. She rubs her arm markings. Mira speaks. When everything went down, when Zoey and I pulled our weapons on you, that was horrible. I regret that every single day. I'm sorry, Rumi. I'm sorry too, Rumi. I know. It's okay. Let's just focus on the task at hand. They step out of a cave and peer down over a rocky cliff. They see Jaji, withered and rotten. Mira's parents barely resemble their human forms. They are becoming trees, just like Jaji, but ghoulish, with Gima's fire instead of leaves hosted on their branches. Mom? Dad? What are you doing? We learn that Mira's parents had the opportunity to become rich from Gima, as Ginu had before. Her mom was pregnant with Mira at the time and thought it wouldn't be a good idea to allow his influence while she was born. But after Mira was born, they began to resent her for this, thinking she was the reason they lost out on their riches. They devoted everything trying to summon Gima out of greed and resentment. They wanted control. Using Gima's summoning portals is poisoning this realm. Huntrix begins to sing a song about overcoming nurture, to tap into what you want to be, not what anyone told you to be. Mira stands tall. You raised me with anger, but I live with love. She looks back at Zoey and Rumi, smiles, and faces back to her parents. You aren't my family. Not anymore.
So strike us down, chop us down like any other tree, and then go home and bask in your wealth and your fame. Leave your parents behind like you always have. We know you want to.
A memory flashes into Mira's mind. She is with her parents and brother in the city. She sees an advertisement for the Sunlight Sisters. Mommy, I want to be an idol someday. Her mom scowls at her.
That kind of life is not for us, Mira. They live in excess.
Her dad chimes in.
To do that requires hard work. Be realistic, dear.
Okay, maybe I can help with the family business someday. I want to read those books. You can read, says her brother. Mira's parents laugh at her brother's joke. Mira looks down sadly, clenching her jaw. We cut back to her facing her parents. You don't know what I want. She drops her weapon. I don't want to be angry anymore. Not at you, not at my friends, not at the Saja boys, not at myself. You had a daughter who loved you and looked up to you. What you chose to do with that has nothing to do with me. As Mira turns around to walk away, her parents screaming and cursing, Jaji erupts into a golden light. Flowers begin growing around her base. Huntrix stare in awe as Jaji unfoils the warped trunk of Mira's parents, leaving them in their human forms on the ground.
Your nature empowers me, girls. Corruption to nature happens, but we can always reconnect with it.
Mira walks up to her parents and looks down on them. Dear, we are so sorry. If you just save it. Meanwhile, Rumi goes up to Jaji. Thank you, but could I ask you a favor? Give the Saja boys a life in our realm. Allow them their souls. They're good beings. I see it in their nature. If you were able to stop Mira's parents' corruption, maybe you can stop theirs. Mira thinks of Romance and Abby's stories of fixing their realm. No more separating it. No more looking at them as demons and us as us. Jaji, combine your realm with Gima's. Take down your barrier and allow Gima's demons a safe home. Jaji ponders.
Okay.
Lights begin to glow, and suddenly the girls wake up in the middle of Seoul. They check on each other, confirm that was real, and before they can run back to their high-rise, are surrounded by worried fans. Where have you guys been, OMG? After they talk with the fans, they run back home to see Bobby standing outside their door. Bobby, what's going on? He points at an eviction notice. I so knew this was gonna happen! Yeah, that's been there for like 2 weeks. Where have y'all been? We'll catch you up later, Bobby. We need snacks, says Rumi. Oh, I can get you snacks. We should clear out of here anyway. The building said the new tenants are about to come. Huh? Just then, the Saja boys come around the corner. We heard a really dope high-rise was for sale. Mira walks up to Abby and Romance. I gotta say, I'm glad you materialized out of thin air in my bedroom. Me too. Not as glad as me. Mira hugs them. Thank you for everything. At first they are surprised, but they hug her back. It's good to have friends again. You can say that again, Abby. It's good to have... Oh, shut up. Everyone goes inside. The broken window from earlier has a tarp in front of it, flowing in the wind. It's nighttime, but the city of Seoul is alive. The multicolored Hanmoon has a more prominent green now, and we see it holding strong. We pan out on a shot of Huntrix and the Saja boys all laughing and talking together. The next day, Mira, Zoey, and Rumi go back out to Mira's childhood home and begin to clear out the library. Mira, do you ever talk with your brother? Asks Zoey. I haven't since I left home. He was younger than me. Maybe I should find him. Rumi and Zoey place their hands on Mira's back. Whatever you do, you'll always have your sisters. Mira smiles, then reaches into her bag and pulls out a bunch of seeds. The girls start planting a garden outside of Mira's home. The mountains of rural Korea, nestled in the background, seem brighter than Mira remembers. She looks towards them, closes her eyes, and takes a deep breath. Flash title, K-pop, Protectors of Nature. Was that corny? Hell yes. I hope you enjoyed my pitch for a sequel to K-pop Demon Hunters. A few notes. I didn't include Celine. I didn't feel like I could make that work. I know she interacts with all of them, but in the first movie, she really only actually interacts with Rumi, that we see. And it just felt awkward. I didn't know how to include her because it feels like you kind of gotta go out of the way to go see her. Rumi kind of travels to go see her in the first movie, and Mira and Zoey just don't even talk to her. They bring her up, but I just wanted to leave her out because I couldn't find a way that felt natural to keep her in the movie. I felt like I didn't need to explain why Genu is alive. He just is. Mira's parents should probably interact with her a little bit more in Act 2 to kind of make that a better villain through line. Point is, it's not perfect, but that's not really the point. What this is for me is fun, and it's practice. A lot of getting better at writing is practice. You gotta get your reps in. So if you're struggling to come up with an idea for a book or a movie or whatever it is that you want to write, maybe just try like writing something in a fandom that you're a part of. And doing that will actually help your brain snowball itself into your own ideas. I have been doing this since I was 14. I wrote a Spider-Man movie that was horrible. It was just ass. I'm actually right now writing a third movie that features Zoey as the protagonist and adds a fourth member to Huntrix. If this video does well, maybe I'll also post that one. I usually don't post stuff like this, but this was kind of fun to make, so maybe I will do it more often. If you enjoyed this, if you didn't enjoy it, let me know. Tell me what you thought worked. Tell me what you... Other than that, make sure to like and subscribe. Check out some of my other videos, like the one on screen. That really helps me out. I'd also like to give a big shout out to my members, Phoenix E, McSnickerbottom, and Kat McKee. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. Have a great day or night. Hippo out.